You guessed it. Just talked to my boss. It's like the same video over and over again. Like, hey guys, just talked to my boss, check me out. But the thing is, I wasn't actually doing this at first. I actually feel a little emotional right now. You can call it hormones if you want. I don't really think it's hormones. I just think it's the truth of the reality of everything that's happening today, is that I'm just really overwhelmed. There's a lot of changes going on in my workplace, which are not bad changes. They're actually really great changes. But there's just, kind of got my feelings hurt today over something. Just a bit of a betrayal situation that just makes you feel like, that's a little messed up. And just human nature in general. I think that humans are just so beautiful and complex, and there's so many different things about us that make us who we are and make us work really well together. But then there's just days where you're like, sometimes people just do really shitty shit. And somebody did something really shitty to me. And I don't think that it was intentional or malicious. I just think that sometimes when our character is not developed well enough or strong enough, or we haven't gotten to a certain place yet and we get elevated above where our character is, whether that be in positions in companies or social groups or whatever the case may be, just sometimes we can get ahead of our character and we can hurt other people because we act out of our own anxieties, and therefore we can reach out and kind of drag some people down with us. Sometimes I know I'm talking very cryptic, but I just haven't had time to process all my feelings yet, and so just been feeling a little emotional. And then I just had to have this talk with my boss, who I adore, which you know that, who was talking to me about a really grand opportunity that is a huge honor. Like it's like really? Me? You want to talk to me about this? Except I don't want it. I don't want what he's talking about. It's not in line with where I'm going in my future. And so when you have somebody who you really admire saying, I want to take you under my wing and help grow you into this certain place for your next step, but it's not what I want. And what I love about him is he says, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't want that. So we actually had a really good conversation, but towards the end, I just felt myself getting hot and flushed and flustered. And we were on a Zoom call, and I can see myself on there. And I just kept my shoulders back, and I just kept talking and seeing that I was turning red and flushed and realizing, which is actually kind of makes you feel a little bit better when you know why you're turning red and you're flushing. And it was because this is a hard conversation for me to have in regards to, will you still approve of me if I tell you no, which has always been a hard thing for me in the past. It's something that I had to overcome in my own challenges of codependency and people pleasing, is that you do not tell people no. So one of the things for me that's been really hard is having to tell people no, but I will, and I've worked through it and I can, but my body definitely is having a reaction because it's like, you're telling him no, is he gonna receive you and accept you after this? And it's just a risk that I'm willing to take to not betray myself ever again. And the conversation went really well. And at the end of it, he thanked me for my honesty, and I just thanked him for giving me space to be honest. Because when somebody is talking to you about such an honorable thing and an opportunity to advance in different areas, but you don't want that, and you have to tell that person who you adore, that's not what I want. It's hard for me, but you've also created such a safe place for me to be able to do that. And even though it was a safe place, and I know that he's still going to accept me at the end of the day, this still happened, because that is definitely a psychological message to my brain that this is a dangerous situation. This is a dangerous situation. So I can understand and evaluate why this happened just now. And I think that even if I couldn't, I know that already he's one of my triggers. So whether he wants to be or not, it doesn't matter how nice and comforting he is, he's going to be one of my triggers. But every time I get to go through a conversation with him where I know this is going to happen, I get to practice breathing. I get to see it on the camera, on the Zoom call camera, and I get to work through what all of that is, even if it's still happening. So I like to get on here and share with you what's going on, just so you can see in real time and kind of hear my feelings and thoughts around it, instead of later and then me messaging you or doing a blog on my website or doing a video later, when the emotion's not raw and real. The emotion's very raw and real right now, so I like to capture that in real time for you. So you guys, check it out. There it is. It's always happening. And this is not going away, but this is looking at it in a different kind of way. It's not really this that we're really bothered by. It's what we think about this, and it's what we think about ourselves because of this, and it's what we think other people think about us because of this. And if we can get focused on that area, we're going to work through this part of it. Hope you're having a great day.